Have you ever felt completely drained after spending time with someone who never stops talking negatively, gossiping, or putting others down? As we grow older, our time and energy become more precious, and the people we surround ourselves with can either lift us up or slowly wear us down. In this video, we'll uncover the hidden dangers of associating with the wrong types of individuals. The gossipers, the negative thinkers, the envious, the ungrateful, and those who only talk about themselves. Stick around until the end, because by the time you finish watching, you'll know exactly how to identify these toxic personalities before they disrupt your peace. You'll also discover practical strategies to keep them from draining your energy, making each moment of your golden years more fulfilling, harmonious, and genuinely rewarding. Don't miss out on the insights, real-life scenarios, and clear-cut solutions waiting for you. Your future happiness and serenity depend on it. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. Type 1. The gossipers, those who always speak ill of others. As we enter the later chapters of life, the desire for peace and simplicity becomes more profound. Old age is a time to shed unnecessary burdens, to reflect on the life we've lived, and to savor the quiet beauty of the present moment. Whether it's spending time in the garden, reconnecting with family, or simply enjoying the stillness of a quiet morning, these moments of tranquility are precious. Unfortunately, not everyone shares this yearning for peace. Some seem incapable of finding contentment in quietness and, instead, create storms of negativity wherever they go. Among these are the gossipers, people who thrive on speaking ill of others and dragging those around them into their web of drama and judgment. The true nature of gossipers. Why are gossipers so harmful? At first glance, they may seem harmless, even entertaining. Their stories about others might pique curiosity, and their lively way of recounting events might draw us in. But beneath the surface lies something far more damaging. Gossipers often have little regard for the truth or the feelings of the people they talk about. They twist narratives, embellish details, and share stories that are not theirs to tell, all for the sake of attention or to fill a void in their own lives. They do not realize, or perhaps simply do not care, about the harm they inflict on others. Their words create a toxic atmosphere, one filled with distrust, resentment, and tension. This negativity is especially damaging as we grow older. In our later years, our emotional and physical health becomes more delicate. Stress and negativity can have a greater impact than they did in our younger days. While we may have been able to brush off such behaviors in the past, they now weigh heavily on our minds and hearts. The presence of a gossiper in your life can feel like a constant drip of poison, slowly eroding your sense of peace. The personal toll of gossipers. When we interact with gossipers, their words inevitably influence us. Even if we try to stay neutral, their stories plant seeds of doubt and suspicion. We might find ourselves questioning the intentions of others or seeing them in a less favorable light. Over time, this can distort our relationships, creating unnecessary distance and mistrust. What's worse is the realization that gossipers don't truly care about us. They aren't interested in our struggles, joys, or dreams. They are not there to support or uplift us. Instead, they use us as a sounding board for their negativity, dragging us into meaningless conversations that leave us drained and disheartened. Think about the real-world scenarios you've likely encountered. Perhaps in a group of old friends, there's always one person who seems to relish pointing out the flaws in others. They criticize someone's appearance, question their life choices, or mock their struggles. At first, you might laugh it off or even join in, but over time, you notice a growing discomfort. You start to wonder, what do they say about me when I'm not around? This constant undercurrent of fear and unease is exhausting. and it robs you of the joy you should feel in the company of friends. The ripple effects of gossip. The damage caused by gossipers doesn't stop with their words. Their actions can have real and far-reaching consequences. A careless remark or an exaggerated story can spark misunderstandings between friends, family members, or colleagues. Imagine a simple comment like, "Did you hear what so-and-so said about you?" It might be entirely fabricated, but the doubt it creates can drive a wedge between people. Relationships that took years to build can be torn apart in an instant, all because of one person's reckless need for attention. These individuals often thrive on creating conflict. They seem to enjoy pitting people against each other, watching as tension and arguments unfold. Their presence disrupts the harmony of any group, turning what should be moments of connection and joy into sources of stress and anxiety. This is especially painful in old age when we should be focusing on nurturing positive, supportive relationships. Protecting yourself from gossipers. So, how do we protect ourselves from these toxic individuals? The first step is acceptance. You cannot change a gossiper's nature. Their habits are deeply ingrained, and trying to reform them is often a futile effort that will only drain your energy. Instead, focus on what you can control, your responses and boundaries. Avoid engaging in conversations that revolve around other people's private matters. Politely excuse yourself or change the subject if someone begins to gossip. If the person persists, it may be necessary to distance yourself from them entirely. While this can be difficult, especially if the gossiper is a longtime friend or family member, it is sometimes the only way to preserve your peace of mind. Surround yourself with people who uplift and inspire you. Seek out those who bring positivity into your life, who share your values, and who respect the sanctity of personal relationships. These are the individuals who will enrich your golden years, helping you to focus on what truly matters. The cost of entertaining gossip. It's also important to reflect on the personal cost of allowing gossip into your life. Listening to someone badmouth others doesn't just harm the person being talked about, it harms you. Over time, you may find your outlook becoming darker. You might become more critical, more suspicious, and less trusting. This is the insidious nature of negativity. It spreads like a disease, infecting even those who only passively engage with it. Old age is too precious to be spent in the shadow of such negativity. These years are a gift, a time to embrace the wisdom we've gained and to focus on what brings us joy. Don't let the gossipers steal this from you. Choose instead to fill your days with kindness, gratitude, and meaningful connections. A personal plea. I speak from the heart when I say this. Life is too short to waste on those who bring nothing but drama and discord. We all deserve peace, especially in our later years. We deserve relationships that are built on trust, respect, and genuine care, not on shallow judgments and cruel words. So, I urge you to protect your peace fiercely. Say no to gossip. Say no to negativity. And say yes to the simple, beautiful moments that make life worth living. After all, isn't that what old age is truly about? If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Type 2. Negative thinkers. Those who have no faith in the future. As we age, the way we view the world often evolves, shaped by experiences, memories, and the wisdom gained through decades of living. The passage of time can bring clarity and gratitude, but it can also amplify feelings of vulnerability. We become more aware of life's imperfections, the weight of losses, and the uncertainties that lie ahead. For many, this stage of life offers an opportunity to grow, adapt, and find new sources of joy. However, some allow their focus to shift entirely toward life's difficulties, viewing every situation through a dark lens. These individuals, often referred to as negative thinkers, seem to have surrendered their faith in the future. They no longer see the beauty of possibilities, only the certainty of obstacles. What defines a negative thinker? Negative thinkers are not merely people who complain or express occasional frustrations. We all have moments of doubt or sadness. Negative thinkers, however, operate in a perpetual state of pessimism. They focus solely on what is wrong, what cannot be fixed, and why the future holds nothing but hardship. Their conversations are often riddled with complaints about unfairness, bad luck, and why things never seem to go their way. They lack the ability, or perhaps the will, to imagine a brighter tomorrow, instead choosing to dwell in a cycle of despair. Such individuals are quick to dismiss hope, not only for themselves but for those around them. If you share your dreams or aspirations, they are the first to point out why those dreams are impractical or doomed to fail. Their words might seem harmless at first, even coming from a place of care, but over time, their negativity becomes a corrosive force, eating away at your optimism and your belief in what is possible. Why should you protect yourself? When you interact with a negative thinker, it's not just their words that affect you, it's their energy. You may find yourself feeling inexplicably drained after a conversation with them, as if their pessimism has seeped into your soul. It's as though they carry a heavy cloud of doubt and fear wherever they go, and by spending time with them, you find yourself standing under that same shadow. The most damaging aspect of negative thinkers is their ability to make you doubt yourself. Imagine sharing an exciting plan, such as learning a new skill, traveling to a place you've always dreamed of, or even starting a small business in retirement. Instead of encouragement, you're met with a barrage of reasons why it won't work. You're too old for that. Why waste money on something so risky? What if you fail? These words, even if said casually, can linger in your mind and create hesitation where there was once enthusiasm. The ripple effect of negativity. Negativity doesn't just affect one person. It spreads like a virus. In families, a single negative thinker can create a tense atmosphere where no one feels supported or motivated. In friendships, negativity can transform joyful gatherings into sessions of complaint and criticism. Over time, the constant exposure to pessimism can lead you to internalize those same doubts and fears, limiting your potential. For example, imagine a family dinner where a negative thinker dominates the conversation with tales of everything wrong in their life: failed opportunities, grievances with others, complaints about the economy. By the end of the evening, everyone feels weighed down, their own optimism overshadowed by the gloom of the discussion. This is the subtle but powerful effect of negativity. It diminishes the light of everyone it touches. Personal reflections on negativity. I've encountered negative thinkers throughout my life, and each experience has left a lasting impression. One particular friend comes to mind, a person I cared for deeply but whose constant pessimism began to erode my sense of joy. Every conversation seemed to revolve around what couldn't be done, why the world was unfair, and how they felt trapped in their circumstances. At first, I tried to offer support, sharing positive stories and suggesting solutions. But no matter what I said, their response was always the same. That might work for someone else, but not for me. Eventually, I realized that their negativity was not just a reflection of their struggles, but a burden they were unconsciously passing on to me. I found myself hesitating to share my plans, fearing their disapproval or dismissal. It was a painful but necessary lesson. While empathy is important, you cannot allow someone else's darkness to extinguish your light. How to recognize negative thinkers. Negative thinkers are easy to spot if you pay attention to their patterns. They rarely, if ever, celebrate success, whether their own or others. They are quick to find fault in new ideas and often dismiss opportunities as unrealistic or unattainable. When you share something positive, they respond with skepticism or a warning about potential failure. Over time, their inability to see the good in life becomes their defining trait. Protecting yourself from negativity. As we age, safeguarding our mental and emotional well-being becomes a priority. Negative thinkers can have a profound impact on your mood, energy, and even your outlook on life. Here are some strategies to protect yourself. Set boundaries. You are not obligated to absorb someone else's negativity. Limit your interactions with negative thinkers, especially when you feel their energy affecting your own. Redirect the conversation. If they begin to spiral into complaints, gently steer the conversation toward something more positive. Share a happy memory or an uplifting story to change the tone. Surround yourself with positivity. Seek out people who inspire and encourage you. Spend time with individuals who see challenges as opportunities and who uplift you with their optimism. Focus on gratitude. When faced with negativity, counterbalance it by focusing on what you're grateful for. Gratitude has a way of shifting your perspective and reminding you of the good in life. The power of faith in the future. Faith in the future is not just a mindset, it's a lifeline. It is the belief that no matter what challenges arise, there is always a path forward. Negative thinkers may try to convince you otherwise, but their perspective is not your reality. You have the power to shape your life, to pursue your dreams, and to find joy in every stage of your journey. As the old saying goes, don't let someone who gave up on their dreams talk you out of yours. Protect your light fiercely. Surround yourself with those who nurture it, and distance yourself from those who would extinguish it. A life well lived. In the end, your time is too precious to spend in the company of those who have chosen despair. Let them walk their path, but choose yours with intention, courage, and hope. Seek out people who uplift you, activities that bring you joy, and moments that remind you of life's beauty. The world is still full of possibilities, no matter your age. The choice to embrace them is yours. Type 3. The envious, those who are unhappy about others' success. As we journey through the seasons of life, enduring storms and basking in moments of sunshine, our experiences shape us into who we are today. Some grow wiser, embracing life's lessons with grace and maturity, while others remain tangled in unresolved emotions and bitterness. Among those we must be cautious of in our later years are the envious, individuals incapable of celebrating others' achievements, driven instead by feelings of resentment and inadequacy. Envy, a slow poison to the soul. Envy is not a fleeting emotion that disappears like a summer rain. It is a corrosive poison that eats away at the soul. The envious don't just feel discomfort at others' success. They feel wounded as if every accomplishment of another is a personal attack on their failures. They are unable to find joy in someone else's happiness and, instead, stew in feelings of anger, bitterness, and, at times, outright hatred. When younger, envy might be brushed off as an occasional pang, a natural byproduct of ambition or competition. But in old age, it becomes an unbearable weight. For those consumed by envy, each success story around them is like a mirror reflecting their insecurities. They compare themselves endlessly, believing they fall short, even if reality paints a kinder picture. The victories of others deepen their sorrow and fuel their bitterness, pushing them to drag others down rather than elevate themselves. The destructive ripple effect of envy. Envy doesn't merely hurt the one who harbors it. It spreads like wildfire, consuming relationships, breaking trust, and breeding negativity. An envious person may belittle the success of a friend, gossip about their good fortune, or even create deliberate obstacles in their path. They live by the misguided belief that if they cannot find happiness, others should not be allowed to either. Imagine this. A lifelong friend shares the joy of a fulfilling retirement, surrounded by loving family and a thriving garden they've nurtured over the years. Instead of feeling genuine happiness for their friend, the envious whisper hurtful words, undermining their success with sarcastic remarks or sly digs. This toxic behavior fractures bonds that took decades to build, leaving both parties hurt and disillusioned. Why envy finds a foothold in old age. In our golden years, life often slows down. The career accolades, youthful energy, and opportunities to shine may dwindle, leaving some feeling overlooked or unimportant. These feelings of loneliness and marginalization create fertile ground for envy to take root. For the envious elderly, seeing others succeed becomes a bitter reminder of what they feel they've lost or never achieved. In multi-generational families, where younger relatives might be thriving in their careers or relationships, The envious may feel diminished, as though their worth has been overshadowed. This perception, though often untrue, breeds resentment, further poisoning family harmony. Protecting yourself from the shadows of envy. As we grow older, peace becomes a treasure more valuable than gold. To protect this peace, it's vital to recognize and distance yourself from envious individuals. Their constant negativity, disguised as concern or harmless remarks, can chip away at your self-worth. Surround yourself with those who uplift and inspire you. Positive companions celebrate your wins, no matter how small, and remind you of the beauty in life's simpler joys. Learn to set boundaries with envious individuals. Politely but firmly limit your interactions with them, ensuring their bitterness does not seep into your own heart. When faced with their negativity, choose to rise above it. Approach them with compassion if possible, but don't allow their poison to infiltrate your world. Celebrate your light. One of life's greatest lessons is learning to find joy in your journey. No matter where you stand, your achievements, whether raising a family, building a career, or simply being a kind-hearted soul, deserve to be cherished. The envious may try to dim your light, but you hold the power to protect it. As the ancients wisely said, don't let someone else's shadow obscure your light. By focusing on your blessings and accomplishments, you cultivate a life of gratitude and contentment, leaving no room for the envious to disrupt your peace. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment below to let me know that you are still here with me. In the end, life is too short to be spent in the company of those who cannot celebrate with you. As we age, our circle of trust and joy becomes more sacred. The envious have no place in it. Choose your companions wisely, surround yourself with love and positivity, and let your happiness shine, untouchable by the shadows of envy. Type 4. The ungrateful, those who only take advantage of others. In the autumn of life, we often look back with longing for simplicity, calm, and the warmth of genuine relationships. We crave a life unburdened by the toxic influence of selfishness and deceit. However, among the individuals we encounter, one type demands our utmost caution: the ungrateful, those who live to take but never give. These are the people who see others not as companions or loved ones, but as mere tools to achieve their desires, devoid of gratitude or respect. Ingratitude, a poison to relationships. Ingratitude is not merely the absence of saying thank you. It is a profound disregard for the sacrifices and love extended to them. It's a way of life for the selfish, a worldview centered solely on their needs. Such people fail to comprehend the value of what they receive, be it time, effort, or emotional support. Think about it. How often do you encounter someone who has benefited immensely from others, yet they act as though those acts of kindness were their due? They dismiss the helper's sacrifices as inconsequential, almost as if the kindness shown to them was a mere obligation. Their entitlement grows with time, and they come to expect support as if it were their birthright. Exploitation without remorse. The ungrateful are masters of exploitation. They shamelessly use the generosity of others while giving nothing in return. Assets, advice, or affection, they consume it all without so much as a second thought. Imagine a scenario where someone benefits from years of professional mentorship. They gain skills, guidance, and opportunities that transform their lives. Yet, when the mentor faces challenges, this person vanishes, leaving their benefactor in the lurch. Worse still, they erase the memories of those who stood by them. The pain of being forgotten by someone you poured your heart into can cut deeply, leaving you to wonder if your kindness was misplaced. It's an emotional wound that often never fully heals. The emotional and social cost of ingratitude. Life is not a business transaction where services are exchanged without emotion. Every act of kindness carries a piece of the giver's heart, a sacrifice of time, energy, and trust. For the ungrateful, this sacred exchange means nothing. They take and take, never pausing to consider the human cost of their selfishness. What they fail to realize is that their greed isolates them. By exploiting others, they unwittingly destroy the very relationships that could have brought them true happiness. Over time, they are left surrounded by walls of resentment and loneliness. When the day comes that they need help, they find themselves utterly alone, abandoned by those they once used without remorse. Why the elderly are easy targets. As we age, our vulnerabilities increase. Declining physical health, emotional dependence, and a longing for companionship can make the elderly particularly susceptible to exploitation. In multi-generational families, parents who have spent their lives nurturing their children may find themselves manipulated by the very people they once sacrificed everything for. Consider an elderly parent whose adult child constantly asks for financial assistance. Promises of repayment are forgotten, and the parent's savings slowly dwindle, leaving them with little security. Meanwhile, the child enjoys the fruits of their manipulation, blind to the anxiety and helplessness their actions cause. How to protect yourself from the ungrateful. For a peaceful old age, it's essential to recognize and distance yourself from those who lack gratitude. These individuals will appear when they need you and vanish when their goals are met. While it's noble to help others, you must learn to help selectively and wisely. Build relationships with people who value mutual respect and kindness, not just what you can offer them. Set boundaries with those who exploit you. Speak up when you feel used and never be afraid to say no when helping comes at the cost of your well-being. Gratitude is the cornerstone of meaningful relationships. When shared, it fosters love, respect, and a supportive environment. Surround yourself with those who appreciate you for who you are, not just what you can provide. A life of gratitude. The truth is that gratitude is one of the most precious gifts we can give and receive. It's a reflection of love, an acknowledgement of the sacrifices others have made for us. The ungrateful may live in the shadows of selfishness, but we can choose a different path, one illuminated by genuine connections and mutual care. As the years pass, let us embrace gratitude as a guiding principle. As the saying goes, gratitude turns what we have into enough. By living with gratitude, we ensure that in our later years, we are surrounded by respect, kindness, and love, the rewards of a life well lived. Type 5. The self-absorbed, those who talk only about themselves and ignore others' feelings. As we age, there is a natural longing for simplicity, a life free from drama, unnecessary stress, and relationships that take more than they give. The older we get, the more we value peace and meaningful connections. But this peace is often disrupted by the presence of a specific type of individual, the self-absorbed. These people see themselves as the center of every conversation, focusing solely on their own lives, achievements, and struggles, while disregarding the emotions, needs, and stories of others. Interacting with a self-absorbed person can feel exhausting, like being caught in an endless loop of their narrative where you're merely a passive audience member. Their inability to truly listen and connect on an emotional level slowly erodes the foundation of the relationship. Over time, this lack of reciprocity not only feels dismissive but can also lead to loneliness and resentment, especially in old age when patience and energy are finite resources. The problem with oversized egos and shallow connections. At the heart of every meaningful relationship lies mutual respect, understanding, and empathy. These are the pillars that hold friendships, familial bonds, and even casual acquaintances together. However, a self-absorbed individual seems incapable of nurturing these qualities. They often have an inflated sense of self-importance, which blinds them to the needs of others. Their conversations are monopolized by their thoughts, interests, and experiences, leaving no room for you to share your perspective or feelings. Imagine sitting down with someone, eager to share a happy moment, a cherished memory, or even a worry that's been weighing on you. Before you can finish your sentence, they interrupt to redirect the topic back to themselves. Perhaps you mention a beautiful vacation you took, only to have them launch into a long-winded story about their travels, completely disregarding your excitement. Or maybe you confide in them about a personal struggle, but they respond with an anecdote about their challenges as if their emotions were irrelevant. Conversations with such people feel more like monologues than dialogues. They dominate the interaction, turning what should be a mutual exchange into a one-sided performance where they are the star. Their inability to place themselves in your shoes creates a glaring void, an absence of empathy and genuine connection. Why it's harder to tolerate in old age. As we grow older, our priorities shift. The time we have left feels increasingly precious, and we become more selective about how, and with whom, we spend it. At this stage of life, relationships should be sources of comfort, understanding, and joy. But self-absorbed individuals offer none of these things. Instead, they drain your energy, leaving you emotionally exhausted and frustrated. The challenges of aging, health issues, limited mobility, or the loss of loved ones can already be difficult to navigate. Adding a self-centered person into the mix only magnifies these difficulties. Instead of finding solace in their company, you find yourself feeling overlooked, unheard, and undervalued. Their constant need for attention and validation can become suffocating, making every interaction feel like a chore rather than a pleasure. The emotional cost of self-absorbed individuals. One of the most damaging effects of being around self-absorbed people is the loneliness it can create. Despite their presence, you feel isolated because your voice is drowned out by their incessant talking. You start to question your worth in the relationship, wondering if they truly care about you or if you're simply a sounding board for their thoughts. This emotional imbalance can lead to feelings of frustration and sadness. You might begin to avoid these individuals, dreading the one-sided conversations that leave you feeling invisible. Over time, the relationship grows shallow and distant, stripped of the intimacy and warmth that make connections meaningful. Why letting go is necessary for peace. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. In old age, your well-being should be your top priority. Surrounding yourself with people who uplift and support you is not a luxury. It's a necessity. Self-absorbed individuals, with their inability to truly connect, do not add value to your life. Instead, they take away your joy, your energy, and your sense of peace. Letting go of these people isn't an act of cruelty. It's an act of self-preservation. By distancing yourself from them, you create space for relationships that nourish your soul. Relationships built on mutual respect, empathy, and love. These are the connections that bring light to your days and make life's challenges easier to bear. How to handle self-absorbed people. If you find yourself dealing with a self-absorbed individual, try gently redirecting the conversation to create a more balanced exchange. For example, if they're monopolizing the discussion, politely interject and share your thoughts. Let them know that you value two-way communication and that meaningful relationships are built on mutual sharing. However, if they continue to dominate every interaction without regard for your feelings, it may be time to reevaluate the relationship. Recognize that not everyone is capable of offering the depth and sincerity you need, and that's okay. It's better to walk away from a draining connection than to sacrifice your peace and happiness. The gift of meaningful connections. Old age is a time to cherish the beauty of genuine relationships. Surround yourself with people who listen with their hearts, who celebrate your joys and comfort your sorrows. These are the individuals who make life richer and more fulfilling. Self-absorbed people, on the other hand, bring nothing but emptiness to the table. Their lack of empathy and constant focus on themselves rob you of the joy that comes from true connection. Don't let them occupy a space in your life that could be filled by someone who truly values and respects you. Remember, the relationships you nurture in your later years are some of the most precious gifts life has to offer. Choose companions who bring warmth, laughter, and understanding to your days. Let go of those who drain your energy and dampen your spirit. You deserve nothing less than peace, happiness, and love in the golden years of your life. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video and reflect on the important topic of negative thinkers and their impact on our lives. As we've explored, surrounding yourself with positivity and protecting your mental well-being is essential, especially in later years. But now, we want to hear from you. What stood out to you the most in today's video? Was there a specific insight or piece of advice that resonated with you? Share one thing you've learned and how you plan to bring it into practice in your life in the comments below. Your thoughts and experiences could inspire someone else on their journey. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us continue creating meaningful content to inspire and guide you toward a happier, healthier, and more fulfilling life. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next video.